Bobby, I have a question for you. Is it possible to like a movie and also be simultaneously really disappointed with a movie? Because that's kind of where I sit with Brave New World.
Underwhelmed.
Yes, this is a decent movie, but
yeah, it's a great Captain America movie.
Yeah, I would argue it's the worst of the MCU Captain America movies so far, but still puts it in good company. I wouldn't call this bad at all. Like, I enjoyed it. I thought actually I thought the first like half hour and the whole setup for the story was actually really good. And I just wish the movie had explored what it had set up more.
What, you mean like we got more of Tim Blake Nelson?
Well, no, I think that he was fine. I would have liked to explore Isaiah Bradley a bit more. I would like to explore.
I would have too.
I would like to. I felt a big theme. So, like, the big theme of Falcon and the Winter Soldier was essentially Sam Wilson accepting the mantle of Captain America, and I thought handled it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like the natural theme of this movie would be the world accepting Sam Wilson as Captain America. And I feel like the story is set up for that, but they don't do it. It just, he is Captain America. And I feel like that's kind of playing it safe. Because obviously, like, yes, people have been, like, racist attacks, essentially saying, he's not our Captain America and crap like that. And it's like, he's a legacy character. He is Captain America. Just deal with it, guys. But I feel like
in the books
that real life stuff could play into the movie, not directly, obviously, but like, and you even have it hinted at. There's that moment where Thaddeus Ross says, "You're not Steve Rogers," and it's like, you're gonna play more off that. But that's really about the only moment where they're kind of questioning him. And I really feel like there's more to this movie that got cut out. I feel like there's probably, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a really good movie in this, and instead we just got a decent movie.
Kind of like a half Manchurian Candidate almost.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Bobby?
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. It's not bad at all. I think one of the things it does really well is, like, you could argue that this is a sequel to so many projects. It's obviously it's Captain America 4. It's a semi-sequel to Civil War. But you also got a sequel to Eternals. You got a sequel to Incredible Hulk. You got a sequel to Falcon and Winter Soldier here. And I would argue it actually handles all that and integrates it pretty well. I don't really have complaints of all the stuff it draws upon.
The payoff. That payoff was nice because that's something that, like, that's a payoff I've been waiting for with the Incredible Hulk and Tim Blake Nelson. That's one that I've been waiting for forever. Well, as great as, like, what's funny is my friend who we watched this with, we both watched Incredible Hulk together too in theaters. So, like, that moment we were both like, dude, like, kind of freaking out about it because, like, holy crap, they're finally doing this.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, I read an article today about this where the director thought, like, why they didn't bring Mark Ruffalo in. Well, we thought we already had one Hulk, so thought we didn't need another Hulk. And besides, nobody would want to see I mean, I'm not even going to finish that sentence because, Red Hulk versus Green Hulk.
I mean, I am down for Red Hulk versus Green Hulk, but I think that would be a distraction from...
And it would have been a distraction from the Captain America movie.
Yeah, it's a Captain America story. And the idea of bringing in Red Hulk, and lots of people are missing the point, it's one of the things that you do is when you set up a hero and you give the hero lots of abilities, and they set up Sam Wilson, Captain America, here has a Wakanda-made suit. His wings, you see, act like Black Panther's suit, where it absorbs kinetic energy and he can discharge it at will.
Yeah, that was
He's
fucking
not.
cool. That was
Yeah,
fucking
he's not.
cool.
Yeah, he's not nearly as good with the shield as Steve Rogers, but he has gotten better. He definitely has a couple cool tricks with it.
And he still is, and he actually utilizes it while flying a lot too.
Yes, which is
cool.
excellent. Yeah, he has his own Captain America style, which is something I always liked about the Sam Wilson's Captain America, and something I felt he had over Bucky's Captain America, to be honest, because Bucky's Captain America was kind of just the same Captain America shtick. Yeah,
like Steve.
There's, and it's not to say he's bad; it's just the same shtick. And Sam Wilson actually added a original element to it. And they show that. And another strength, a couple of really big strengths of this movie. The chemistry between Danny Ramirez as I'm going to slaughter that Hoakin. I'm slaughtering it, but like the new Falcon, the chemistry between Danny Ramirez and Anthony Mackie as Captain America, new Captain America, new Falcon, I thought was excellent. I like them as partners. I thought Harrison Ford did a damn good performance as Thaddeus Ross. I miss William Hurt.
Well, we know why William Hurt can't be here.
Well, yeah, he passed away a few years ago, so it slows it down, unfortunately.
But did you also find it hilarious when they showed that archive footage of Thaddeus and he had that and Harrison had that fake mustache?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm happy that you also found that funny. No one else in the theater but me and my friend found that to be as funny as it was, but I think it's probably because Harrison Ford notoriously can't really grow facial hair that well.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the things, like we brought up William Hurt, and I was like, I feel like Harrison Ford feels like a bit older than William Hurt. And I looked it up, and there's an 8-year age difference, which is, kind of makes William Hurt was only 71 when he passed away, and Harrison Ford right now is like 82, I want to say.
So this is the second time Harrison Ford has played the American president.
True. So we need Gary Oldman in this movie.
Oh man.
But I have mixed feelings about Ruth Bat Seraph. Like I don't really know if she's still Sabra. I don't know Sabra's real name. I think it's questionable to bring a character like that into the MCU and not really address why you're bringing that character in, but they she's just kind of there. I don't think she gives a great performance. I have mixed feelings about her involvement, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like they could explore the politics they're introducing a lot more than they do. It's almost like this movie's afraid to really probe the politics of a lot of this stuff. It glances at the politics, but doesn't really dive into them like it should. And like I said, I feel like the storyline, it's like right there. You have this character who has been experimented on by the U.S. government for decades. And he has just done, I feel like there's a setup in the trailer, so I don't feel like this is spoilers. This is your Act 1 stuff. He does an assassination attempt on Thaddeus Ross, the president.
Yeah.
And essentially, Sam Wilson, he runs, and he's able to get away for a little bit, and then he just stops. Sam catches up with him, and he looks at Sam, and he's like, how'd I get here? What's going on? He's completely like, I have no idea what the fuck just happened. And like, there's so much to explore with that. I think that's a really fantastic setup and really interesting. Because this driving point at that point is Sam Wilson figuring out who's behind this, proving Isaiah's innocence. I like that setup, and it just, after that, it gets very surface level. It's like, I feel like this movie, I want to see a director's cut. That's what I want this movie. I want to see the original vision. And we'll probably never will, because Marvel's notoriously bad at releasing any sort of alternate cuts. And to a degree, I get that. But like this one, I feel there's a better version of this movie. There is. What we got was decent. I'm not saying it's bad.
Like, I'll even take an extended
cut. It could have been better. Yes,
I'll take
it
an
could have been
extended cut.
better. Imagine exploring these storylines. I feel like this movie is almost too scared to actually probe the politics, and maybe that's because of the criticisms of Falcon and Winter Soldier. But I'm sorry, if you're going to explore politics, I think Captain America is primed to do that. And I think one of the things Winter Soldier and Civil War do is explore the politics of the situation. They do that wonderfully. I feel like this movie just feels too scared to actually do that. It's frustrating. Again, I like this, but I'm also disappointed in this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucifer here is coming in with some great stuff. Imagine you did that. You went harder on the government corruption, went harder on how uncomfortable the world is with U.S. superheroes. There's stuff to explore here.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't do that. What we end up with essentially with this is a fun action movie. And you know what? It's fun. So I don't want to shit on it too much, but
no.
It's like I watch it. It's like I enjoy it, but I can tell there's something else there. And it's like,
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's declawed.
It is declawed. Yeah. No, it just like it didn't quite get there, but just a little underwhelming.
Yeah. Again, great performances. I thought Harrison Ford was fantastic as the new Thaddeus Ross. Daniel Ramirez is great as the new Falcon. Anthony Mackie, once again, fantastic. Carl Lumley is, again, fantastic. Giancarlo Esposito, fucking fantastic as Sidewinder. Tim Blake Nelson.
Fucking Tim Blake Nelson. Yeah, just fucking enough said right there. Shit. Yeah. Always great. Always great.
I will give a criticism, though. I was not thrilled with his makeup. I thought his makeup was underwhelming. I don't know how you do comic book accurate makeup, but I just didn't like the look of him.
Well, let's bring up a picture of what he looks like in the books.
That's the comic book leader.
Oh,
I understand that's not going to look great, but I don't really like what they landed on. I don't.
They've always kind of taken from it in the inspiration and dialed it back a little.
Yeah.
He wasn't quite that green. More of like a hue to him, but
yeah.
All right.
Lucifer, I'd probably go ahead and give it a 7. Like 6 for me is like leaning towards negative, but like not like hating it. Whereas 7 is like where I'm leaning positive, and I do lean positive on this one. I just, like I said, I enjoy this. I like this, and I also find it frustrating and disappointing all at once. I will say, another thing I will say, especially after watching Civil War, because I know that's a big criticism. It's like, well, Bucky was supposed to get the shield first. Following the MCU storyline, especially after Civil War, it wouldn't make sense to give the shield to Bucky. He is still dealing with a lot of stuff, whereas Sam Wilson has always been there with Captain America, always been right by his side, and always been a trustworthy friend, always had good judgment. It makes sense for Sam to get the shield in the MCU.
Like
it really does.
There's a reason why Sam was the first guy that he busted out of the raft.
Yeah.
Or like, there's a reason why Cap busted him out first.
So yeah, it's fine. It's entertaining. I like it. I just wish it was better.
Yeah.
Good solid fight scenes. I like the introduction of adamantium, even though I wish they'd done a bit more with it. Well, I don't really care about that.
I'm very happy they brought up the Celestial out of the fucking Earth.
Yes, and that's where adamantium comes from, which I think is a clever way to handle that.
Yes, and I'm happy that I'm also happy you brought that up because I'm cool with this. I'm okay with this. Okay with it.
The adamantium came from this Celestial. That's how come it didn't exist in the MCU before. Has nothing to do with copyright at all. Just the Celestial hadn't risen yet, guys. There's no copyright issues before then.
That's how they're just working. They're working around it. They're working their way around it. Man. They didn't have the legal rights. They didn't have the legal rights. That this is what I believe. Just what technically is just referred to as covering their ass.
Yeah, it works. It works. And I like the idea of it being like something where all these nations are going after it. And again, it's something to explore a bit more that they don't really. It just kind of results in a fun action scene. It's like, okay, again, it's a decent movie, but I want it to be better. I want it to be
Yeah.
better. You see, yeah, Lucifer, I would probably put this alongside Love and Thunder, honestly, because I don't hate Love and Thunder. I thought Love and Thunder was fun, but it's definitely got flaws, and I'd say this is probably in that same category.
Yeah, Love and Thunder definitely has its flaws.
Uh-huh.
But it was
Yes.
just, yeah.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.